What's up, horror fam? Welcome back to another live here on YouTube, where we are going to talk about, I don't know. What are we talking about, guys?
Whatever they want to talk about, I guess.
Yeah, basically. So, as a lot of you know, the HHN and Hunt rumor season has been a bit slow. So we do have a few topics we're going to get to on our own, but otherwise, we're really just going to be going to the comments and chatting with you guys. So if there's anything you want to discuss, any questions you want to ask, there are certain limitations on those questions, but otherwise we'll mostly answer anything. But we're happy everyone's here. Glad you could join us again. This is the first recurring time we are doing our weekly lives. So let's keep this going. We are now on a streak. I'm proud of us. Look at us.
Better than during HHN 33 season. Or any HHN season.
We did okay last year with lives. And then it hit August and we died.
Lives, yes. Podcasts, no.
It happens. It happens. All right, let's see what we got with us.
Oh, there you go. I'm like, you're muted.
Oh, Jonathan. Mary, what's up? Thanks for joining us.
I'm back.
Albert, man, I didn't have a taco. I need a taco.
I agree.
Devastating. Chemo Dog, appreciate you slacking off at work.
Keep it up.
I don't know if we are more important, but I appreciate the sentiment there.
I was like, we're not ignoring that one, right? Okay. Cool.
We're good.
No,
we're all right.
Come on. Goblin.
No, I'm okay. We're good. What's the next comment?
We'll get to you later, Hydra. Don't worry. We're coming back. I promise. We'll come back to that maybe too. Thanks for pointing that out.
I have no idea.
Starring stuff. I gotta start starring stuff. All right, there's questions. Wade, what's up? Thanks for joining.
Hello.
All right, so with that, I guess we can just start getting into questions at this point, right? Why not?
Yeah,
that's good.
Oh wait, here's one. Hey, what's up, HHN Scott? Thanks for coming in.
Hi.
Perfect alternative to a taco place. All right. I don't know. I'd probably rather have a taco, but I appreciate that.
You'd take it to go and then watch the live at home.
True.
All right. So actually, let's start off with a couple things we have because it kind of might tie into some of these questions that come in later. Get to the questions shortly. Don't worry. Which one do you want to start with, Jonathan? I'll let you pick.
Let's do the easy one first. Let's do the John Murdy one. Pretty simple start.
Perfect. So as always, John Murdy is still pretty active. He's just chatting with people on Twitter. It's what he does. But that gives us some fun things to talk about. In this case, not really details, but you can read the tweet here. In the original post, John Murdy's basically just excited, getting hype, saying it's going to be freaking nuts this year. Basically, someone comes in and says, well, the event's not scary anymore. So John Murdy says, that's the focus. Not only does he say that's the focus, when sort of doubled down on there, saying, I didn't say it wasn't fun, just saying it's not scary. He said, as I said, attitude, John, that's the focus this year.
That's what he's known for.
Yeah. This is like spicy John. Usually it's a little bit more playful. This is like clapping back a bit. I like this, John. This is my favorite movie. Right? So John fully doubling down that they will be focusing on the scares or the scary aspect this year. Do you guys fully buy into that, first of all?
I mean, doesn't he say that every year? He's like, this year, this house is going to be so scary. This will be the scariest thing you've ever seen. And it's, there's sometimes it happens, but I feel most of the time it's just like Hollywood scary,
I feel like anytime any HHN creative director or creative person of any sort gets in front of a mic, a camera, a journalist, whatever it may be, they emphasize how they're really going to be scary this year. So
Yep, every time. And scares are subjective. Like
Oh,
we've
yeah.
talked about it. My first year at Hollywood, I was cowering against a wall, and then the last couple of years, there's been some scares, but like TCM specifically last year, wasn't that supposed to like rock my shit?
That
And Duff, you were there. I walked through it and was kind of more mad that I was getting wet in every room than I was getting scared. I like specifically the one scene with the whatever the cart that they moved. I just would duck
Yep.
down and walk because I'm like, you're not doing anything except spraying me. So
there was that one
I
chop
mean,
top who would just smile and press the button, just like I got you with the water.
I get it. I would probably be the same person if I was him.
that is my kind of scare acting, to be fair. That is what I would be doing too, just like
And then just moving it, you know. But like it wasn't scary for me, and it probably wrecked other people.
Mhm.
So like Murdy, I don't believe anything you say ever. So we know that. We got beef, which is probably he might be spicy because he watched The Lost live. I don't know if I was actually
it wasn't
spicy,
your
but
worst. Yeah, no, it was
No.
not your worst, that's for sure.
no, but this feels more personal now. This is like not face to face, but I can look him down the camera.
That is true. Can you imagine him just
No.
looking at that hair, being all angry about it?
Hopefully when it's like dyed better and not like this.
No, this is memory right here. This is how he pictures you.
Good at my worst.
It's interesting though, because there were like a lot of people who said Insidious at Hollywood last year. Not to me, but to a lot of people, it was like terrifying. And some people thought Texas was terrifying, and Weekend had some good scares. I feel weirdly enough, last year was probably scarier overall than the year before. I think the year before it had monsters and it had like most of its scares were grouped up in that house.
I would agree with that.
This
Yeah.
year they were more divided. Where like there wasn't a house that was going to destroy you like monsters, but I feel like most of the houses, besides a couple exceptions, always had like one or two scares that got me. Where the year prior, there were many houses I would say had none of those.
Yeah,
So-
I would agree for sure.
Mm-hmm. So I do hope this is true, because I think one of my favorite things about Hollywood previously was that I always like their scare tactics and scare design there. And by design, I mean they basically just let the scare actors learn how to be their character and fucking go at it. And I think that's great. And I feel like the past couple of years, it's kind of been waning. So I do hope, even if you're not like really just like, just give me the scariest thing ever, just kind of step back a couple of years and get back to that level, and I'd be very happy.
Definitely agree with that.
All right, let's see what people are saying about John Murdy's comments. Albert, make it an R-rated event again. Enough of the PG-13 houses. I mean, I think the PG-13 is probably here to stay. Maybe some more R tossed in as well, but
Terrifier.
And Hydra pointing out, aside from Terrifier, no idea what he might be talking about going off the rumored lineup. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Maybe we're going to have a banging, terrifying original. Who knows?
I hope so.
That would be great.
MC Films' biggest complaint of modern HHN is we get too many comedy camp houses. Remember the good old days where Blood and Guts was too unique for being less serious. Need more scares. Yeah, I kind of like the upped camp a bit, I will say. But I think in the houses that should be scary, that's also kind of come down a level. So just treat those houses a bit more, make them more intense and scary.
And there's a way to make camp houses scary too. Like I remember the first Slaughter Cinema had quite a bit of like really good and unique scares that were like the big head like monster that would come out that would get people like every single time. I remember like jumping all through that house. But Slaughter Cinema 2, not really, not so much. I feel like the scares were lacking in that one.
His name was Falafel, by the way.
Oh,
just so you know. That's the spider that maybe not the spider that was in our bugs photo, but one of Aaron's spiders is named Falafel after that
animal.
Awesome. It might be the spider that was in our shoot for the bug shirt.
Was it?
I don't know.
We got a falafel appearance?
How would you guys know? Because none of you helped. I was
You're
there
right.
with the spider.
I sure did.
So
Thank
falafel.
you for your sacrifice.
Thank you, Aaron, and maybe falafel. I might be wrong.
Any last things on the Murdy side before we move on to the other topic we will bring up?
Not really.
No? Cool. So this is going to be a fun one to chat about a bit. Legacy. And I will say, he does say in here, this might just kind of be a cope tactic. So he doesn't even sound super confident about what I'm about to read off. But this is going back to the 11 or 12 house rumors, which Legacy was actually saying 12 at one point, like directly, like that's what I think is happening. So if you guys listen to our podcast or any of our content throughout social media for that matter, we've discussed how 24A does not currently have a permit. So having Soundstage 25 permitted means we're just at the 10 houses. So the original hope or vision would be that 24A would get a permit, 11 houses, boom, done. It feels like that's pretty much dead in the water at this point. 24A will be used for something else. Who knows exactly? Q space, break room, something not related to HHN, whatever, right? Legacy's sort of trying to keep this going in a way, bringing up that he heard a rumor back in December that Insidious the Further, the house that was in 24A last year in Orlando, would simply be returning untouched. Mothball it up, bring him back Insidious. First of all, before we get into the logistics of that and anything else, how would you feel about them just mothballing a house and bringing it back for basically no reason?
This is the first I'm hearing of this.
You're welcome.
What? Thank you. I'm really glad I didn't look at the email. There's so many things I want to say, and I also have no words at the same time in my brain about this. What a confident way to say things. Does he think that... Okay, before I answer, I'm going to lead with a question, and this is all going to be speculation. Does he think that the house is just standing in 24 right now?
According to the way he said he heard that rumor, yes, that would be the case. Otherwise, it would need... Basically, the way he's saying is if they don't tear it down, it would not need a new permit, which we'll talk about that a bit later too. But so yes, he is saying basically that is just sitting there.
That's really interesting. Okay. I can tell you that they need soundstage space right now because that's where they were rehearsing epic characters. That's all. Just based on what I've heard, speculation. So I don't think there's just an empty soundstage or a soundstage sitting there with the whole house. Just based on what I've heard from people that are perusing and exist in that space. Wow, Legacy. I don't know what to say about this. No, thank you. I would not like this, and I loved Insidious. It was great. We don't need this. There's no reason.
Yeah. Like in the theory, I'm not saying I believe this because I don't. But let's say it happened, right? And this was the 11th house, and this was all true and happened, right? I wouldn't like it for the precedent that I really don't like Orlando repeating houses. I think even Halloween for a lot of people was super similar, and even that one that had differences was still like, for some people, like that's way too close, and even some people didn't like it for that reason. But I guess the one benefit would be it's a house I don't have to do, and I could just view it as like capacity eater. So like other people go in that house, so I have the 10 other houses to do, so it would just make those lines shorter. So
okay.
That's like the benefit of it is like I don't have to do it, and it's just like I'm viewing it. The event is there's 10 houses, and there happens to also be a awesome people eater house over here that I'm not gonna need to do really. So
with a big reputation from the year before.
That's true.
Okay. Now that the shock has worn off, I've taken the glasses off, and I hear you, Jonathan, and you are valid.
I still don't want it, but
no,
that's like the glass half full sort of idea.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would rather 10 houses than this.
100% give me 10 instead of doing a repeat. I think a great example of how I would feel about this is looking at The Bride of Frankenstein Lives from HHN Light, where to me felt like potential all-timer if I was to rank it right then and there. I didn't because it wasn't a real event, and I didn't play that way. once we got to HHN 30 the following year, I saw the house in a very different light because I had run it 50 plus times the year before, and that just kind of ruins the fun. First world problem, but one of the very great things about HHN and the Hunt World is that you get a brand new lineup every single year. Very rarely in Orlando have we gotten a repeat, sort of at all, and then only once as a direct copy. It's just something we don't need. I don't need to see, even if it's a house I really, really, really enjoyed last year, and I just don't see why they would do it outside of what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's move on to the other part before getting to the comments here and bringing up the whole permit situation, where he mentions that if they don't tear it down, that they wouldn't need a new permit for it. There is precedence for that aspect because going back to HHN 30, these permits were made for 2020. They went into 2021 without new permits being filed and no public updates, at least. We don't know if this was some sort of like waiver because of the situation that maybe they were just allowed to do this and normally they would have to resubmit. Who knows? Not sure. However, there is something we can look at on the permit side that would say this would be very, very strange. And that is that they do permits for the temporary power usage for each house. The way they do this every year is they are individual for each house, but they wait until the last permit for the final house has been filed. And then the same day they file all of these power permits. The only exception that we can see would be for Hellblock Horror, which we know is a very different situation because it was a house that was permitted and then replaced with something different. So very different situation. Shout out to our Discord mod, Ouija, for finding all this, our permit keeper. So if this is something that was planned ahead of time, why would they not do what they do every single year and have it filed so they can file their power permit? Or I guess we'd just see their power permit if they didn't need a new house permit, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
I would say that pretty much shuts this down fully, unless it is completely to hide it from us. But I doubt that.
It would be big news, I guess. So they're waiting for Spooky to just drop it on us, like Slaughter Cinema 2.
Yeah, get ready for Insidious to further again. Everyone's like, what?
Get ready to get booed.
Further. Right. No, they would not do that. Oh my God. They would do that on a Friday at 5 o'clock and turn their phones off and run away.
Saturday at 3 a.m.
We wake up. Wait, there was a house? What?
Just go back to sleep, everyone.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. We don't need to post about this one. We're good. Yeah, I think you're right, Duff, and Ouija, absolutely too. Just I think not having the electrical permit, I don't think there'd be a reason to hide it from us. I don't think they care, really. Like the only people looking at this stuff is us. Especially the technical permit stuff, like they're not thinking anyone cares about that.
I didn't know there were power permits until 2 minutes ago. And I'm on this show.
There are several permits that come out for the stuff across HHN. The only one that the fans typically come out and care about is the construction for the house. That is the permit. That is the ones that currently are showing us what the code names are to start it off, and it kind of kicks off the season. Outside of that, no one pays attention. We see these because of Alex. We don't find them. Alex finds them.
No.
We don't even post the ones I'm talking about right now because they're just, we've already talked about the permits, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I don't see them thinking we would notice or care.
No. I will say, again, now that the shock is worn off and I have a thought again in my head, I don't see this at like just being a soundstage that's like being used for actual soundstage uses, like being rented out because it's in the middle of Horror Nights. So this is going to be queue or break space, and we know that they've had an issue with break space before because all of the soundstage houses are shoved in the half soundstage of the queue for where Monstrous was, or maybe not all. I think it was all last year. I'm not sure. I can't confirm that. Someone's going to tell me I'm wrong or right, but all of the sound stages, or most of them, are crammed into a very small space. and a lot of them have to walk all the way across that. So then if you're making that there, you're splitting it, or hopefully, or at least it's a bigger space for them, maybe instead of half of a soundstage. So if it helps the scare actors, we'll get a better event because they're happy.
Mm-hmm. And then also Soundstage 25, if used like it has been in the past, would be more of a mega house, larger cast, more people, more scare actors to home for their breaks. So yeah, I could definitely see the need in general, regardless, but especially this year for having additional break space.
Yeah. And I know there's still some people, because the reason we were thinking 11 was coming out is that we had Soundstage 24B. Why would they have a B if there wasn't an A? And the only time, like, there's been one example when there's only one house in that soundstage. That was Evil Dead, the remake, and it only said Soundstage 24, and there was only one house in there. So what's going on? I really think it only says B. I don't believe the Insidious stuff. I'm anticipating A is used for either something else or even nothing. Who knows? But I really think it's only classified as B due to where we're going to enter. Just the side of the soundstage that you would normally enter for B. And I think it doesn't just say Soundstage 24, because even though Evil Dead was like one house in there or whatever, it didn't like specify A or B. Evil Dead technically used the whole soundstage. That entrance with the big like book picture, like the pages of the book, like even though the house was only like about half, that entrance took up like basically the entire soundstage. So I think that's why the permit we have is specified as B and not just Soundstage 24, if that makes any sense.
Even more to that, at that point, that was the first ever house used in Soundstage 24. So there was never an A or a B. It was just the first. Why would you have an A or a B if that's never existed? And that's the only house. Yeah. So there was no reason that would say A or B, because that was not a distinct space that was created until the following year.
So you think we're entering from a different, like we're just using a different side, or like what were you saying, Jonathan?
I think we're entering where B is triplets, right? B is where triplets was. So I think we're probably going to enter the door where triplets is. Okay. I would assume that's why you specify B or A, because A enters one door, B enters another. So
could they use then the other half for Q space, because maybe they need the outside space for the mega house?
Is
their thought process?
Well, actually, there's been public permits out where the Q space by the South Florida Water Department, that the Q space where you usually wait for Soundstage 24A and B, there's going to be, we don't know when these are going to be constructed or anything, but there's going to be buildings there. There's going to be structures put on that space. So it could be a factor of we're only using one side of the soundstage and only one half, because we can't queue people up there because there's stuff going on. Yeah. You know, there's buildings and stuff, and there's not enough room. So what if we just use the other half of that soundstage for the queue instead of trying to put people into a construction zone? You know, obviously we don't know when it's happening. It's assumingly for Rip Ride, because it was with all the Rip Ride permits, like it was all the same thing. So, you know, if it happens during the event, you can't really use that space unless they get like a tight area. There's going to be construction there, you know. So that could be a reason we don't have 24A.
Yeah,
that's a good point. So let's get to the comments and see what people are saying about the possibility of Insidious not only returning, but literally just returning. Having Insidious back isn't on my bingo card, but sounds wild. Ain't that the truth?
Be wild for sure.
Florida Man Charles says no.
Me.
Wait a few years.
Right.
Yeah.
Give us time to miss it. An anniversary in 10 years.
Right. MC Films. I hope the takeaway from Insidious success isn't people want more Insidious. Yeah, correct. I think it was more about that house was really good. They did a great job with it. Not that people are obsessed with Insidious. And I get the sense that Universal is probably aware of that, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
People really want to see the man who can't breathe again.
They're begging. They're begging in the streets. Hollywood, Alien vs. Predator all over again. We bring it back. Houses, Wicked Growth 2. I mean, that wouldn't just be bringing back a house. That's a sequel, and I would like to see that one day. Thank you. Okay, so he thinks that he's not ready to let some of his rumors die because he doesn't like being wrong. To Legacy's credit here, he does say that he acknowledges that this is cope and conspiracy brained. So he's kind of admitting, like, yeah, this is probably wild and not true, but I'll throw it out there. Why not?
Yeah.
To be fair,
it's something to talk about when there is literally nothing to talk about at all right now.
It gave us something to chat about. Why not?
We all got to find something, you know. We get it.
Luigi, why would they bring back Insidious when Triplets was right there?
That's the Wyatt 6 rumor. We just got the wires crossed, guys.
Sorry, I personally tore Triplets down day one of breakdown, so it's gone.
I had a fun time in there. I'm not saying it was good, but I had fun.
I had a time in there.
There was definitely a time to be had in Triplets.
You just needed to smoke a little bit before.
We kind of already discussed this, but so we think it's a Q. I think we're kind of all over the place on what it could be, but a Q is a pretty good guess on what it could be for sure.
Air-conditioned Qs are never going to be an issue for me. Or anybody, I think.
If it's still standing, then what would they change with Insidious? I can't see them doing American Werewolf in London. Yeah, and if there's not a construction permit, then they can't really change much. It would have to be something that would just be kind of aesthetic detail, right? And I don't think could use certain like products or materials, so it'd be like something very light if there was any changes.
Yeah.
Is it just so Blumhouse can shut the fuck up and have obligatory representation at the event?
Oh, can we frame that? Frame it
Yikes.
on the wall. That comment.
All right.
I hate Blumhouse so much.
Yeah.
Keep up the red curtains and make Puppet Theater 2.
You could also do Unmasked again with all the red curtains.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I don't think we want that either. Well, wait, that goes back to Phantom of the Opera, 100 years from last week. Red curtains.
There we go. We solved it. We solved the riddle.
I cracked the code. Legacy, you should have just reached out.
They're just going to swap out the scare actors and call it a day. It's going to be great. It's the same thing. Same thing.
You think the Phantom's going to have a Merkin still?
I mean, I hope so. The hotline with us was going on. Oh, by the way, basically when this stream ends, or maybe an hour after, depending how long we go tonight, Hotline's having a stream of their own. 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific. If you want to join them, I know I most likely will be. So you can get some back-to-back HHN live streams tonight. I don't like this take though, John. I'm sorry. Goodbye.
No. How Hollywood of you?
Yeah, how Hollywood, or I guess more nuts. You know.
How West Coast of you?
Your home event is always repeating, you know, which I love that event. Don't get me wrong, but I don't want that at HHN. The furtherer.
Yeah. I like that with Insidious.
Insidious.
Those are my favorite I've seen so far. Insidious is the furtherer. Insidious.
Oh,
Didius? Oh no, no Didius. No Didius.
Oh no. Where are we going?
Since Rocket will be closed, could they have a queue line up in the front where the coaster goes along soundstage RIP meets in, aka Old Blue Man Group, as a construction alternative? I mean, I guess so. Yeah, right.
Possible.
It depends what they already have blocked off at that point, but it feels like something they could route if they wanted to. But as we know, operations does not have the first say in things that happen, and they have to deal with the things that are thrown at them. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Remember when Chucky was rumored to come back to Hollywood last year? This reminds me of that rumor, except this makes less sense.
That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point. It does make less sense. Because at least Chucky had. Damn, those animatronics are expensive.
They came back. They're always like Chucky will always come back in any form. His robots will always be there.
We need to have like a counter for how many weeks in a row we've like Jonathan has brought up the Chucky animatronics. We're on week 2.
We are in week 2.
So we're just gonna.
It's gonna be
another graphic. We need.
We're gonna run out of weeks that we can do it before he's done.
I'm gonna forget to keep counting at that point.
It's true.
Just a little Chucky.
I'll never let you guys forget those animatronics.
You truly won't. Forrest says it's because they were awarded a Schmitty, multiple Schmitties, to be fair. And yes, we know that A&D are huge fans of the Schmitties. However, if this rumor started in December, our Schmitties didn't come out till like a week ago, so couldn't be the Schmitties. Sorry, not our fault.
I still need to listen to it. Do I? How many awards? Okay, wait.
You have the outline. You can go look at it.
I could. But before I go, I know who the top 2 houses were who were winners because it was you 3 voting because I didn't vote. Sweets and Insidious, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And you guys had to take a bunch away from Sweets because Jonathan wanted to give everything to Sweets, right?
Oh, there were some awards.
Or Mike too. I could see Mike and Jonathan fighting for Sweets in every category.
I think there was one where I thought there was going to be a fight and they both conceded Sweets, and I don't remember what it was for, but I was like, oh, wow, look at that.
I'll look at the outline later.
Yeah, check it out. Or listen to the episode, support us. That works too. I hope that Insidious does come back. Listen, I get why. It was a very well-received house. Yeah. I enjoyed it a lot. I just personally am not looking for repeat houses.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is referring to. I assume something along the Insidious lines, but agreed. Heavy sigh. We're going to get to this soon.
Mothman, there will never be not slander on this show. I just want to make that clear.
Chucky lives on through Babel.
It's true.
Ain't that true?
Oh, I was like, what does that mean? I understand now.
Yeah. Not slander. The opposite of not slander. It works amazing for nuts. I just don't want it at Orlando.
My lantern is right here. Like, I will not ever do that.
All right, I think we've kind of cut everything Insidious wise. Any last Insidious comments or thoughts? Good riddances.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get this rumor out of here. I'm tired of it.
All right. Understandable. So let's go back into our comments because I know there were a lot of questions and things we can discuss with you guys. Let's start. I don't know. If you haven't asked it yet, Hydra, go ahead and ask it. I'll get to it eventually. MC Films. John Murdy is teasing Stranger Things for 2026, right? Oh, God.
Oh, for next year. I see what you're saying. The 80s synth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Murdy, remember last week we talked about Murdy was teasing that he was working on a house for next year, but it's not going to be for this year or whatnot. He also made another comment. Someone asked, like, you tell us something you were researching, and he was like early 80s synth music for movies.
Specifically movie scores. Yeah.
Movie scores. Yeah. So it was, I think it was, around there. So
I get 26.
Yeah. For next year.
So they're gonna do Slaughter Cinema. That's that rumor coming back around. It comes around like every 3 months. I feel like
it's true. I mean, it was on.
Slaughter.
It was on the latest map. Was the Slaughter Cinema? So
see, it's relevant right now. That's probably what it's for, guys. It's just we gotta wait a year because he can't do it that well in only a year.
Is a Hollywood Slaughter Cinema going to be more all-night die-in and have IPs?
Ooh, yeah.
I would like that. I think that'd be a fun way to differentiate it, going through like some movies that you can't make full houses out of, but you still want some scenes in. I would totally be all for that. That'd be a great way to make it different from using like sort of the same idea kind of movies compilation, but making it distinctively Hollywood so they can't really... We don't go through it and we're like, oh, they did Slaughter Cinema wrong, because it's basically completely different, besides the idea of movies.
What if that's Blumhouse next year?
Well,
I found a way to make you hate it already.
You already did. Good job, Jess.
I mean, didn't they do like was Totally Killer them? Or I don't know. I actually don't know. That just sounds. Or is that Netflix?
I think that was Blumhouse.
That's Netflix.
Or was that?
It was on Netflix. Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't know.
Or I'm getting my 80s time travel slasher confused. Who knows? I think there's multiple at this point. Who knows? By the way, if you are responding to anything we say about these comments in the chat, I'm not going to see those till a lot later. I'm just working from the top, so sorry. We'll get around to you, I guess. Spooky Bits. If you could pick any legacy original to bring back to this year's event, which would you choose? And I feel like this is a question we get a lot, but I feel like the term legacy maybe changes it a bit and isn't just like, I liked this original, now I want it back. When I think legacy original, I think it's something that's like consensus all-timer, ties deep into the lore, maybe, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Anything stand out for you guys along those lines, or are you just gonna stick with like graveyard games?
No, I'm not. I'm gonna give you something more original than that.
All right.
And I saw that. Like I feel like this answer. I have to say something I didn't see personally. That's my role I'm giving myself. A Winter's Night, the Hawthorne Cemetery, that wintry. That one is always. But again, that's just a graveyard. But a body collector, like anything, because I've never seen the body collectors.
Mm.
The one at Shady Brook, I guess, would be the one because that's the most lore, like deep in the lore. My answers are boring. I'm sorry.
Fair.
My answers are pretty boring too because I've said these answers plenty of times. Last week when someone asked about what original would you want to bring back, I said leave it to Cleaver, and that's legacy. I would still pick that, but because I already said it last week, I'll also throw in a Blood and Guts in there because I want to see that character come back and taking on a new format. It doesn't have to be holidays, can be something else. But I think that character and that style is just something that is really cool and interesting, and I want to see it back.
I'm kind of stuck between two minds here, so I'm just going to say two. On one end, I think a new version of Run would be a lot of fun. It's something that was kind of based off a different premise of the game every time, and I think game shows have become so popular, like just reality TV show style game shows, that you could have so much to work with now as to kind of what to mirror it as. I would also say a return to Psychoscarapy would be pretty fun. It's been...
I like that.
Oh my God. It's been a while.
Yeah.
When's the last time we had a Psychoscarapy house? 20? HHN 20 was like the last full Psychoscarapy house, I think. Yeah.
I think you're right.
Shit. Well.
I haven't never been there. So.
Return to Shady Brook. Let's go.
I do want to steal. Chemo has a comment, and I can't believe I didn't think of it. Scream House.
I mean, we both.
But that's also very cliche for me. Yeah. And you. They said Chemo said icon of Cindy.
Ooh.
Maybe like after Albert, they like show up.
That'd be a great way to continue it.
I'm in. I'm sold.
I'm always in with Albert.
Yeah, that's fair. If he's
and also
there,
graveyard.
Let's go.
It's a mortuary. It's a graveyard. I'm happy. Let's go.
All right, let's see what else we got. Oh, I think I found Hydra's question. What are the chances that the house Slash is scoring is the rumored WWE house? I mean, I wouldn't expect that personally. Jess, you might have more. I don't know.
I have a joke.
Something.
It's
more
not
of an
gonna
opinion.
hit.
Okay, go ahead.
It's not going to hit either of you guys, but no, the music would have to be done by Def Rebel. Who, let me give context for those who don't know. Def Rebel is the one that does all the current WWE themes, and they're fucking shit. Nobody likes them. All the wrestlers hate their themes, except for like Rhea and those who have like real bands. So there we go. People are mad at me now. Def Rebel, that's who should make it, not Slash. And also because they have their own like song maker, whatever. I don't even want to call him an artist. I don't see that contract would really work out.
But what if the music was done by The Weeknd?
It would have to be what's it? Who is it this year?
Travis Scott.
And he fucked Cody up.
Hell yeah.
I'm getting attacked. Hotline and Wade are very mad at me right now. Sorry.
Yeah, I got nothing to add to that. I really have no idea if it would work.
Yeah, no.
But like just thinking about it, I'm like, I don't see why.
A guitar solo would be cool. I
True.
guess.
That could be cool in any house, really.
That's just the final scare. Slash doing a guitar solo, and everyone's like, "What's happening here?" And the house ends. It'd be the new Anubis scare. It's a dark room, and then he
With the
just pops
werewolf.
out. It just goes.
Oh, Anubis wins. Yay.
Yeah.
So we'll hop over to Coaster King's comment. What's everyone's thoughts on Five Nights at Freddy's? Feels like it gets more likely by the day. I don't know. I don't know that on my opinion, on my side, it gets more likely by the day. It feels like something that is in the realm of possibility for this year, but on the lower scale of possibility.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in the middle of it. I like, sort of like that. Like I can see it happening. I can see reasons why it would happen. Sequel coming out this year. It's Blumhouse. There's reasons for it and there's reasons against it. Like the whole rumored, why didn't we get it last year? What happened? And all that stuff. And and rumors with the creator of Five Nights at Freddy's not being particularly great to work with and stuff like that. So I can see reasons for and against it. So I'm in the middle. I wouldn't want it, but
I know some of the lore just from having a niece who was very into it. That's like about it. I enjoyed the film. It did not tap into a lot of the lore, as I've been told by a very angry 13-year-old. And that was an issue. So it's cool. I worry that if the rumors were true about Last of Us being like kind of testing for that kind of like scare actor outfits for the bloaters, I worry about these full costume characters because all of the bloaters had issues. And we're not comfortable, which like you're never going to be comfortable, but like issues where like that's why a lot of the holes were empty sometimes. So I just worry, and I would rather it get to a point where we're comfortable and confident in our costume making that it's also comfortable for the actors. But that's just me being a grumpy 30-something-year-old,
The thing with Five Nights at Freddy's is like, besides some victim scares, most of the scares would have to be those big costumes. Bloaters, luckily you can fill the house with clickers and runners, and bloaters only had to appear at the end. But Five Nights at Freddy's, you got to have the majority of your characters be the big costume people. So it's definitely a huge concern if it were to happen.
I mean, when health concerns come into play, that makes it very difficult to figure out how to execute it.
Yep.
And on a personal level, I have no affinity for this property. The only thing I've seen is the movie, and I did not enjoy it really at all. So it would make a lot of people happy, so I'd be happy for you. But I personally have basically no interest in seeing this outside of being intrigued by how they execute it.
If it happened, it would have to be the movie, right? Like usually, there's cases like we talked about Fallout, like, oh, the game makes more sense, or Last of Us, the game makes more sense. But Five Nights at Freddy's is owned by Blumhouse.
It's gotta be.
So it'd have to be the movie if it came. I don't see any world where it's the video, especially because the video games get so out there. Like, you probably want to stick with the movie.
Isn't there another one coming out this year?
I
the
think
State
so.
of Play. Yeah, Eugene watches that thingy. And I like remember saying something about they were doing that again, and it whatever the tagline was this time. I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
Boo! I don't know. Yeah.
Now, question of the night: thoughts on blue milk?
No, I don't like it. Very bad. It's not a good drink. Like it's
the Star Wars one.
Yeah, the Star Wars one.
Yeah, no, ew.
You take like the first sip and you're like maybe, and then you drink more. Like no, it's bad.
So I think blue milk's okay. I think blue milk's okay. Green milk is a fucking abomination.
I was waiting for you to say you
That's
liked
worse.
it. No, my sister
fine.
likes green milk, but she also likes to eat grass pretty much. Like,
well, that's
that
what it tastes
girl
like.
likes the earth.
If you put it in a blender with some ice,
I
that's
don't like
green
either
milk.
of them. I don't like the consistency of it either. Of any of it.
Especially
icy.
green, because green's like chalky too.
Yes.
Oh. Blue milk, I think, tastes fine. It's not refreshing in any way. No. It's not something I'm gonna grab unless someone already has it. But I could drink it. Green, I would just throw out. No, thank you.
They both have a weird aftertaste. Like you drink it, and like the main flavor is like okay, then you feel it on your tongue. You're like
it's like chalky on the back end. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, I agree. I would rather go get a fuzzy tauntaun from Oga's.
Yeah, agreed. I like my mouth tingling. Don't read into that. How about we get an all barbecue stand this year? Was so jealous of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Hollywood barbecue stand last year. I mean, to be fair, it'd probably be a slight improvement over the food options last year if we just had all barbecue. So, no, but also they could do worse, I guess.
I love how they just brought the exact stand back in Hollywood. They're just like, let's just do the same thing we did in 2021. No changes, just that booth. It was nostalgic because that was my first year Hollywood, and I saw it back, and I was like, whoa, there it is. Yeah.
Wow.
Cool.
It's beautiful.
Beautiful story.
Katie asked, what do we think is the number one house rumor possibly? Terrifier.
Terrifier.
Yeah. Art the Clown.
We getting Terrifier.
Mega house. We're getting a mega house. That's mine.
Adventures of Mike and Steph. What's up, horror fam? What are the IPs you want to see at this year's event in Orlando? Want to see just from any IP that exists, or want to see from the realistic options? Because that's probably very different.
Yeah.
I'll stick to the realistic options. I do want to see Terrifier because I want to see how far they'll go. I think I'd rather see Fallout than Last of Us if I had to pick between the two, just to see something new. And then, I don't know. You guys can go. I'll think of something else.
I mean, I want the Wyatt 6. Not kidding. The Wyatt 6. Like realistic, it's Terrifier. Like that's gonna be the one. But that's about it. I don't really have anything like any big movies or anything this year that are like I'm excited for.
Yeah. I out of the rumors right now, and not counting WWE, I think Fallout might. The Terrifier and Fallout are sort of tied. Where Terrifier, I think, has like a higher chance of just being a better house, and being more consistent. But Fallout's like the case of like, I'm so curious to how they're going to do it and the scale of it and just the music and the atmosphere and the vibe. And while I think it can fall, there's a chance it falls flat on its face. That might be why I'm leaning more towards it, because it's more interesting, while Terrifier is a more, I'm not going to say safe as in its content, but like it's easier to translate, I think, than Fallout. But yeah.
I never came up with another one, but maybe later something will pop into my head. East Coast hunts. When do we think we're going to get the next spec map? Start getting announcements. As far as spec map goes, I know Horror Night Nightmares recently basically said can't make one when there's not much to update.
Yeah.
So we can't really predict that one, unfortunately. Some people think we do, but we truly have no involvement with Horror Night Nightmares whatsoever. No discussions with them.
Or
nothing.
Horror Nights.
Or Horror Nights.
To those of us who tweeted us like we are Horror Nights, sorry, we seem like an official account for some reason, but we are absolutely not.
We get tagged in so many Instagram posts during the season. It's my favorite. I'm like, wow. It's really cute. We see a lot of them. No.
House announcements. I would take a wager that it'll be April. Will be our first house announcement of the year.
Well, usually.
Go ahead.
Well, historically, I should say, there's always an announcement within like a week or two of my birthday. And Jonathan, our birthdays are close. So I feel like you feel the same way, right?
I think so. Yeah.
So mine is the like last couple days of March. So that is like one of the earliest ones we've ever gotten. I think specifically like my first year or something like that. Or maybe it was Stranger Things. I don't remember.
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
March.
That was on my birthday. Took away all steam from my day. So like that, I don't think it's going to be March. It's going to be April, but I think it's going to be like the first week of April.
I'm more leaning towards your range, Jess, mostly because Epic's opening really soon. It's May something, right?
It's Memorial Day weekend.
How do I have a different range?
You don't have a different range. I'm
no, you
just
don't.
saying.
I think
Jonathan.
I like the specific
specifying early
April.
April. Yeah.
Exactly, early April. Because I think doing it in that time frame doesn't mess with Epic, because the closer we get to Epic, the closer they're going to want to just push that. So I think early April, late March is, like you said, Jess. I think that's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, I think.
And I hope they don't go the route of just waiting.
Yeah.
Either.
And giving us something at one day of the once, whatever they did last year, the originals, once a day for a week. I can't talk.
Let's do it once a week and not once a day, please.
Yeah, please. I can't make 6 TikToks in a row anymore.
I think we'd probably all agree that the Epic opening and that kind of surrounding time frame, HHN's no touchy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's going to be
the end of May.
Epic for at least probably nearly 2 month time frame.
Yeah, I think so.
Month before, month after, maybe.
Yeah, great time for HHN.
Tomorrow's a big day for people wanting to go to Epic with team members.
It's true.
Oh.
Speaking of that,
social media is going to be fun.
Well, I mean, I get to cross my fingers and toes tomorrow.
Wade here with the question: with Final Destination's new movie on the horizon, do you think, depending on how well it does, it could lead to a house? I mean, it feels like one of those properties that probably should have been more involved in the event at some point, right? Just it was really big, really popular. They could make it work probably. I think that time's probably passed, though.
Yeah, I think so.
And this is like a legacy movie. This one, I'm pretty sure, or something. I don't know. It's like, yeah. So I don't know. I feel like the real one, the big one would have been whatever the one with the tanning beds was. I don't know. Duff, maybe you remember that was big when that one came out. I don't know which one that was.
Is that 3?
Maybe. Because
I'm so bad with
is that the one with
this
the
and Saw. I struggle so much, and I mix them all together.
I'm pretty good at the Saw franchise, but this one, no, because I think the roller coaster is a different one than the tanning beds. I'm not sure. Maybe they're the same one. Whatever. Either way, that one would have slapped at the event, because like I can imagine the 2 tanning beds, and then they could just like rip it open.
Oh,
they really
so good.
I think the tanning beds were 4, says Dakota. Okay. Thank you. 4.
There it is.
It was 3. Well, Wade says it was 3 now. So they're fighting. I can't.
Well, keep me updated with that fight in the
Hydra
comments.
says 3 is the roller coaster and the tanning bed. So they are the same one. That would have been their time, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think they missed it.
It had people who did not watch horror at all were in the theaters watching Final Destination. It was a fucking phenomenon.
Yeah.
It was insane. So let's move on to the next one then. Florida Man Charles. Anything in Mardi Gras tribute store I should look for this weekend? It's actually pretty light with HHN Easter eggs, to be completely honest. Not really.
It was the same Fathom Corp box that's been there for just like years now.
Yep.
I still haven't been to Mardi Gras this year.
Well, you need to fix that.
When does it end? Because I don't know if I'm even going to have a chance.
I think the last week of March.
Okay, I'll have a couple.
Something like that.
Ooh, well, that might be when I go to Epic.
Priorities, right? Like
I gotta go see the monster babies if I can, you know. I don't know anything yet. That's just hopeful.
Yeah, I actually haven't been in the tribute store since I think the preview. Maybe I walked in once after, so I'm literally gonna look at my camera just to see what photos I had, because there was not a lot.
There's some Disney shade in there, so if you think that's funny, the Fix Yeti little post-it note.
That is good. Not HHN, but good.
Oh, you said HHN specifically. No, they just said anything in the Mardi Gras.
No,
okay.
I just figured that's kind of what we were leaning towards. You have the Gone But Not Forgotten HHN 29 Tribute Store Facade sticker, as always.
Yeah.
Nope. Nope. What's it called? I forget what he was called. Where do I find it? The Museum of the Antiquities, how they did the whole thing last year, building up to, was that last year or the year before? No, I don't remember. Last year.
That was last year, yeah.
They did that all building up to their tribute store. They have like posters referencing that. Otherwise, yeah, it's not much. But there are some really good rooms in there. It's definitely worth checking out regardless.
It's interesting because the past two tribute stores, this one and the Christmas one, really didn't touch HHN in terms of like Easter eggs at all. They were pretty light on them in general. Maybe that's just going to be a trend going forward.
Could be.
Who knows?
Because with the way they're going with summer, especially, I assume not much HHN in there either.
No, I doubt it.
You think we're going to get a butterbeer season tribute store? I hate that.
I don't think we need that.
Can we, like, what is butterbeer season?
I mean, they have
by our product.
Season, so.
But that's what they're saying is between Mardi Gras and summer is butterbeer season. Like actually with like merch and like, I'm not kidding.
No, yeah, there's like some special items to buy. Like there's a gold mug,
season.
caramels.
Yeah, I saw.
I'm not crazy.
Yeah. No, it exists. It's just invented to be like buy our products.
Yeah, it's to bridge to Epic. It's to get from Mardi Gras to Epic Universe. In
order to get there, you got to cross the butterbeer bridge.
Something we do not need, but okay.
That's how you get actually from Islands of Adventure to Epic. There's a butterbeer bridge directly.
Butterbeer bridge.
Directly over.
That's going to be a long walk.
Hey, tourists don't know how far things are in Orlando. They think Disney and Universal are next to each other.
That is true. That's a fair point. They think Universal is Disney sometimes. You never know.
Yeah, where's the Harry Potter castle?
Next comment. Love you guys. Your pod is my fave. Thank you, Sheena. Appreciate that. Do you think we'll get any more original sequels this year? Yeah, I would guess we will get one.
Yeah.
I have no
sort of a trend.
True guess, but I would assume we will get one. I think that's something that we're going to see most years moving forward.
Yeah.
And I don't hate that. I'm cool with that. Does anyone have any guesses? I don't know why you would, but just based off the year it is or something like that.
I can tell you what I want, and this is the answer I always give in a Graveyard Game.
I mean, fair.
I'm boring. I'm sorry. Just give me my graveyard.
Ah, yes, the 6-year anniversary.
In the building, it wasn't in before.
I know people on our Discord server, which you should check out our Discord server, by the way. We talk about all this fun stuff 365 days of the year. It's awesome. But I know there was a time where our Discord was going, Dollhouse at a damn sequel, Dollhouse at a damn sequel. So I guess that because there was a time where everyone in our server was just clung on to it, even though there's no anything. It's just like, yeah, we want it, and so they all just decided collectively that's what they wanted. And I agree. I think it'd be good.
I've been on that train since HHN 365 was founded in 2019. Very public about that.
Mm-hmm. Are you driving the train? You took over?
Yes. The conductor was kicked out, and I've been leading the way since. Unfortunately, I don't know how to drive, and maybe that's why we haven't had it yet.
Speaking of not knowing how to drive, wait a second. Sorry. For people, this is my husband. If people don't know, I'm sorry, that was a little mean. But this is my husband. I can be a little mean. He's about to barge up in here. I feel like I murdered Duff with that. You're welcome,
Eugene. If you want to hop on camera and defend yourself, I understand. But anyways, Wade asks. My other question is, with the rumor of Jordan Peele remaking People Under the Stairs, do you feel that this would be a house as well? This is a house that has been to HHN multiple times. Actually, one version was my first ever HHN house. Isn't that fun? No, it wasn't, by the way. It's actually probably one of the worst houses ever to come to the event, but if you were wondering. So, I mean, yeah, this feels like something that is possible, but I think it would have to, A, do well, or B, just really get into the pop culture and draw a lot of people for some reason, whether it's good or not.
Yeah. What's funny is he and I were talking about this the other day. Not the reboot specifically, but he brought up People Under the Stairs. I said, did you know that the first IP brought to HHN. It was like 7:00 in the morning on our way to work. I don't know. I think that it could be part of like a legacy house or something for an anniversary as like our first IP. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe a zone, a scare zone. I don't know how that would work, but I don't know if we need it.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know. They can do whatever they want.
I think they do it. As long as the movie does well. Obviously, if it doesn't do well, then there's no reason to. But if it does like decent, they already have a relationship with Jordan Peele and Hollywood and Orlando. I don't see a reason not to. Really, it's just a nice way to be like, hey, for all the people in news that know that that's our first IP house, we're gonna bring it back. Just the reboot version. I'm sure it'd be actually a good this time. So I like that. I'd be all for that. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'd like to see its redemption because it was a well-regarded house in its early year. I just got the bad version, unfortunately.
You did. It
So-
was under construction for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see. Yeah, I just saw Terror Mines in an IP. That's all I got.
Did you at least get the hat?
No.
Oh, that was a formative moment as a child, I imagine.
Yeah,
They didn't give the hat to the kid. I
No.
mean,
I was 14. It's not like I was a child.
you were a child, Duff. They didn't give the hat to the baby. He was right
The
there.
toddler was right there.
You're just like,
Please, it'll protect me.
little Duff.
All right, moving on. Not a question, but Gobleton.
Yes.
I saw
just
the
like
photos.
Yes.
so many Gobleton drawings.
I think I might change the one with the pigtails to your contact photo.
Oh my God.
You might need to. The pigtails were really something. I think you should dye your hair that color.
I'm okay. I think I'm okay with my natural hair color.
Boring. What does the chat think?
Yeah, let us know what color hair should Jonathan
No,
have.
don't let us know that. We're good.
Hold on, Jonathan. Hotline's trying to speak.
The other Jonathan is
Another
trying to speak.
Jonathan.
I was happy to get 5 years of Paranormal Link. Give me 5 years of Insidious. Maybe we could just give Insidious to Fright Fest. I don't know.
They would probably find a way to make it.
Okay, we'll give it to Scarowinds. How about that?
Yeah. That'd be fine.
Okay, Insidious should just go then.
Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. Tomorrow is exactly 1 year since we got our first spec map for 2024. Since we already got our first one for this year, aren't we overdue for version 2? I mean, I guess technically, but I think you probably said this before. We talked about it anyways. Horn and Nightmares kind of already came out and said, well, there's nothing to update, so don't know what you want us to do. What's 1 + 1? Jonathan with red hair is the answer.
Oh, wonderful.
Red hair. Oh,
Red hair.
it's spicy.
Let's see. I know this probably isn't happening, but another Weekend House based off his new album would slap. Need Me in Our Neon Nightmare Fever Dream. I mean, I won't turn it down.
No, I won't.
mean, we didn't have one in Orlando, the second one, so why not?
I'd love a house based completely on the new album too. Like not a mixture, you just do it all based on Hurry Up Tomorrow or the movie. Either I'm sure they go hand in hand, so just do a mixture. I would absolutely love that. But it's probably not going to happen. But I want it.
I will say one of the biggest things was that it wouldn't fit his image now because he's moving off the weekend. He has a movie called Hurry Up Tomorrow dropping in May. Would it really not work this year? I'm just saying. Like, this could be the final hurrah.
He's still going to be on tour. By the time, doing weekend, he's still the weekend on tour, as HHN will be going on. So if they want to have it before we pull a Billie Eilish and it's like, oh, I'm not that character anymore. Can't use that. Sorry. This would technically be the time to do it.
A literal horror movie releasing.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Don't have to get super creative with the album. They can only be like, hey, here's the movie. So we're just going to translate the movie into a house.
I don't know if I'd want that as much, but I haven't seen the movie and I still don't think I'd want that as much.
But there was a clown with the chainsaw running it weekend.
Was that supposed to help Jonathan?
It'd be funny.
Shutter Bravo just joined. Will HHN have a premium scare night this year? Unfortunately, just joined was 30 minutes ago, so hope you're still here. That has not been confirmed yet at all. And I think last year this was a pretty late announcement for when it was. I don't remember the exact time frame, but I remember there wasn't too much warning before the event. I don't know. Tough to say. It feels like something that got such good word of mouth from the people who did it that they would try again and expect it to sell better. But if the numbers were not great last year, they might just go, we tried, whatever, moving on.
Yeah, I could see, management looking at the numbers of the original one going, and just not doing it again. It's like, not having any faith in it.
Or maybe not maybe in just a different way. Because I can imagine that there was a lot of food waste at that event.
Had to be.
Based on how Mike was saying it was just there for you to grab, just lined up. So, and there weren't that many people there. So maybe they make it where it's like a buffet in the soundstage before you go into the houses or whatever, and it's more of a pre-party. That I guess would make a little bit more sense, and you could offer an open bar that way because it's controlled.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that there's ways that they could improve it and bring it back. They also could just copy paste it because they sold tickets, not as many as they wanted to from what we heard, but I would like to try it if they do have one this year because nobody complained who went.
No, everyone loved it. They loved it so much they didn't care to go to the event anymore after.
That's my only fear. Because everyone who did it was like, oh, that was the best HHN night maybe ever. And then they're like, I have no reason to go to the event anymore. This year, I'm done. I did it everything I wanted to do multiple times. And I don't know if that would happen to me, but it feels like a curse that if you go, it's just you never want to attend the events.
I'm okay with that. My plan this year, and I might shoot myself, later for saying this, I'm gonna, if there's a premium event, get a ticket for that and a Rush of Fear with Express. And then if I decide to upgrade after Rush is over, if I still can, that's money I didn't have. It's girl math, that's it's half off at that point, but maybe it is a curse. I don't know, but I'm willing to test it this year because again, no one complained. And then I was over the event by October last year anyways. So, and then I could travel and go see other haunts in October, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm realizing I also use girl math if that's the case.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's it's really like HHN math, but girl math is the term. It's free.
Next comment. If there's one Carrie type house you want the most, which theme would you pick? I think we need a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame theme haunted house. That would be interesting. I don't think typically in Carrie, but same state. Why not? One, I would say I'm going to go the direction Jonathan went. Well, I guess not earlier, but last week. I really just want a Leave It to Cleaver sequel. So.
Yeah. I would pick that too, obviously.
I don't know. I interpret this as just a rock and roll, like a mashup, like a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but set in one place, like Carrie was, right? Is that how we're interpreting this?
Oh, is that?
That's how I was.
Carrie type. Okay.
Yeah,
so
I was
compilation.
Like a compilation, but like a rock. So this commenter is saying like a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I see.
Haunted house. One setting, different stories, maybe.
That makes sense. I was okay. Cool concept,
I could be
by
wrong.
the way.
I like that a lot.
Oh,
that's really cool. I have one.
Okay, please.
Maybe it's a little too close to Puppet Theater, but like a Broadway style where it's like different musical settings. I don't know how, they don't need to be singing, but like maybe Broadway's the setting and it's all backstage murders or something like that.
That'd be cool.
Something tapping into like a different kind of art form.
That'd be fun. I'm gonna be honest, nothing's really coming to mind right now.
Yeah. I don't know. Just make scary better.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's do that. Just retry the whole Carrie mashup house.
The lantern house.
Ooh.
Where we're actually in the lantern and it's not just, oh, you're in the lantern. No, like make it mean something.
Yeah.
That almost sounded like your Boston accent you did for that one shirt reveal. I'm just it kind of
The shirt that we don't sell.
that one. Chemo Dog. Not sure if I want Horror Nights' take on Mr. Beast for Run. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't. What happened? Nah. Ew. Oh my God, no.
That was all the. That's all the WWE.
No.
Comments. That was the WWE music comments.
Please
Yeah.
no. Hell no.
I told you I was
Don't
getting
you put that
attacked.
evil on us. Why?
All because I said Def Rebel. I told you the joke was gonna hit other people harder than it hit anyone on the screen.
Oh, I wish I would have seen that in real time. I was scrolled so far away.
I was watching it pop up in real time.
Now I understand the attack. Okay.
I was like,
All right. Scott asks, really quick question. Do you think they'll do an Icons Unleashed house in 2026 for the 35th anniversary? I won't guess a specific house, but I would expect we see Icons in mashup houses of some sort, of the anniversary style for HHN 35. Yes.
Agree.
Yeah.
I think I know we're all on the camp of like Jack versus Oddfellow, Jack Oddfellow,
40.
Oh yeah, 40.
No,
forgot.
I said last week though. He's getting old, man.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep bringing it up, and that's no hate on him. Aging like a fine wine, But we're all getting old.
It's true.
My knees tell me that every year at HHN.
Let's see. All right, here we go. Back to FNAF. Is it really on the lower end, though? I feel like if it wasn't happening, we would know by now, like we did at this time last year, and Megan would be a far stronger rumor. I understand that line of thinking, but that's assuming that there's going to be some big Blumhouse IP house, which isn't necessarily going to happen. And that doesn't mean we don't get Blumhouse house either. It could be something kind of out of left field, like Insidious. It could be a Horrors at Blumhouse house. I mean, there are many options you can go with Blumhouse.
The Purge returns.
The Purge. Or there could not be a Blumhouse house, and it could be like a Scare Zone or something else. So, yeah, that's just where I am right now, personally.
I agree.
Let's see. Jonathan?
I don't know.
A crop top with Goblethan on it.
Oh my God.
Right on the chest.
I
don't. One on each.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
These lives are just people getting like an actual look at how we bully Jonathan in real time.
Basically. Cosmic Joker. I like blue milk. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
So, I mean, to be fair, I said it's not bad. If you
But
said
you
you like
like
green milk, then we'd bully you out of this chat. Sorry. I'm kidding. We wouldn't do that.
We'll
All right.
bully
What is
Jonathan.
this? If you mix blue milk with Sprite, it's good.
I've never tried that or had the idea to try that.
So you're telling me, I'm realizing who said this. You're telling me that you buy a $6 little pod of Sprite and a $6 blue milk? I've never seen you do this, sir, in your life. How do you know this?
He just knows everything is better with Sprite. I actually think green milk is yummier than blue milk.
Nah, no. Nah, sorry, Hydra.
Respectfully, no.
Tastes like Pepto-Bismol.
Kind
Or
of.
drinking toothpaste.
Chalk.
Yeah.
Chalk. Gross.
Accurate descriptions.
Not for me.
We prefer green Goblethan over blue Goblethan. I don't know that we've seen blue Goblethan yet, so I don't know if I can say this for a fact.
Would that be the pigtails? The blue pigtails?
I don't know how to respond to these.
That is true. In that case, I like blue better.
Well, yeah, you can't be green. I already have green hair.
That is true.
It's taken. Sorry. It's only one.
That is true.
You can't have purple either.
Goblins' hair is just my hair, just my color.
But like the one with the pigtails. I feel like I need to pull it up on my phone.
Oh.
I was a really big fan of it.
Oh.
I just want to be hammered, covered in barbecue sauce, talking to an HHN bar scare actor. The vibes. While Goblethan is on screen.
Oh,
there you
so
go.
good.
This is my favorite Goblethan, personally.
That's a great Goblethan.
I understand.
Oh, wait. This one's for the chat because they were talking about Scooby-Doo.
There it is.
There we go.
It is.
That'd be me going to Scooby-Doo house.
Oh no, he was a butterfly. I'm done now. See what you guys are missing if you're not in our Discord?
This is all on Discord.
Because I'm not in our Discord.
I am just getting to all the which film the tanning beds were in for Final Destination.
It was 3, Duff.
Well, yeah, I see now.
Yeah. Duh. We'll never forget now.
Have 2 separate queues that lead to Final Destination. One's a roller coaster, the other's a house.
You know, I like that.
That could be fun. Is there a reason Fear Street hasn't appeared at HHN yet? Did they not think AHS, American Horror Story, did well? I don't know. I think I don't know. It feels like it's something that could have worked. It was something that was rumored at the time, but there is more Fear Street coming, so not dead.
Yeah,
it's true.
I don't know. I think at first I was like, what does American Horror Story have to do with Fear Street? They're different, like, ownership, but then I understand why. Like, the mashup of it all was really on a different journey for a second there. Yeah, I don't think it has anything to do with American Horror Story. So
Fear Street's all connected too. You can connect all of them in a way.
So it's exactly like American Horror Story.
Oh, I guess I haven't watched them, so I guess so.
Yeah, in one way or another. Not American Horror Stories. Different.
I did see the first episode of that, and I hated it. The
So
stories.
That was
bad.
that was terrible.
I don't like it either.
Dakota asks, what are some horror movies you want to see as a house that you think will never happen?
Alien. I would love to see the I know they've done it before, and from videos they looked incredible, the xenomorphs, and I'd love to see that done. Well, I guess aliens because you have more of them, but done in a, I want to see them done with the puppets and the articulate stuff we have now, but it's never going to happen because Disney owns them, so we'll never see it again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'll go with one that's not the Disney reason and probably just more missed its time, and I don't know if they think it would have worked, but the X-Pearl Maxine trilogy could have been a lot of fun, and I don't think that will ever come to the event at this point.
No.
Yeah. I don't know if I have an answer for this right now, which feels so not like me.
That is strange. Usually got your IPs ready to go.
I know. I don't have anything.
You just believe in them. You think they can come.
Well, like, no, I've never seen Jason at the event, my favorite slasher, but I don't want to see him again because he's been done. And even though I haven't seen him, I don't need to see him. I'd rather an original or like a better IP. I don't know. If I think of an answer, I'll throw it out randomly because that's how ADHD works. But I don't have one right now.
I don't think Dollhouse of the Damned was as good as people think it was. Lots of diaper men. Well, if you don't like diaper men, you don't like 365, my man. Sorry.
Just a bunch of diaper men.
Just a bunch of diaper men.
I don't know. You're the one who said it.
Going off the rails.
We were never on the rails, conductor, though.
Yeah. Oh, good time.
I saw it earlier. I just knew you were around there.
It's right there.
That's what you call a callback.
Let's see what else we got. Any thoughts on Nightmare Fuel returning? Yes.
I mean, I think it will happen.
Yeah.
I didn't see it last year. I don't know. But we don't know yet though, right?
It's not confirmed yet.
No,
Wasn't there?
it's not
But
confirmed.
their contract was only until Didn't we talk about this on the show?
Yeah, we
They
don't
only.
we don't know. That's
Oh,
the
we
thing.
don't know. I'm sorry, but I thought that there was a no. They definitely commented on Instagram. One of the girls. They don't know the Fuel Girls.
Oh,
I
they
saw
don't
this.
know. Yes, yeah.
Oh,
They had no idea because their contracts had not. They have no idea.
Mhm.
They said that publicly. I know
Yeah.
they did on Instagram. So they have no idea. So we have no idea.
Correct.
That's my answer.
If we got something new, I wouldn't be mad. I'll say that.
it's true.
Yeah.
I'd rather Nightmare Fuel. They tried the whole, we're gonna make a different story and different theme, and while it was different, wasn't different enough for me. So I'm good. I'm all right.
All right, we've gotten to what I've been waiting for. Jonathan hair colors, rainbow
God damn
sprinkles.
it.
That'd be fun. Chucky orange,
Oh.
Okay.
platinum pink. I think I gotta go. I think the orange wouldn't work as well, just because unless you grow your hair out, then maybe.
Mm.
I think the platinum pink could actually work with your hair. I don't know why, but I think it could legitimately work.
I guess it's possible. The unfortunate fact is that we'll never know. That's the sad part of it all. We'll never find out.
Of course.
There's not even like a, I don't know, some big milestone we could put on it that you would never do it. It's not like a tattoo. It's not. Duff's bleached his hair before.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It grows.
I guess
out.
it's possible.
Do you think he wants to be like me?
No, I'm just saying. Like, is it a solid no, or could we convince you?
I think right now it's a definite.
Just that color or colored?
No,
in
just
general?
Any
colored
color.
in general. Just
Yeah,
colored
that's-
in general.
That's what I thought.
Right now it's a definite no, but I'm not against it in the future. But I think right now needs to be this color for lots of reasons.
I can't wait till like 6 years from now. Jonathan has purple hair, gauges, tattoos.
Is he just me? Did he turn into Jess?
You influenced him.
Wow. I can't wait to hear. That Jess is such a bad influence.
Mary asked, do you think there will be an icon this year? If so, new or old? I don't know. I'm really stuck in the middle on this one, to be completely honest.
I could see them just not doing one. I think there's enough. The IPs that are rumored, I think are strong enough that they could just make that the marketing focus and not even worry about an IP right now. Not original, right? Icon right now.
Yeah. I think we need a break. And then 35, we can visit all of them and focus on. I mean, you have Art the Clown possibly right now, if that's, the most solid one, and follow. Like, you could make some cool commercials, and that's rest on that, and it'll be fine.
I won't say I think we need a break, because 2 years ago they did Oddfellow great. I thought that was a well pulled off icon. No reason they just can't do that again. Obviously, different character, I would hope. But I don't know. If I had to guess, I get the sense that we will not have an icon this year. And obviously 35 coming up, there will be icons of some sort at the event.
I think so too.
And then after every anniversary year, there's usually some sort of reset and new things happen. And we'll see how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
The people want it, John.
I know, John.
Look, we already got money. I heard crop top. I'm in. Making him blush. Give the people what we want. See?
I thought this live was about HHN questions. Not what is Jonathan gonna
Ooh,
do?
does Goblethan have a pimp walk? I feel like he does.
I don't know if I can picture Jonathan with a pimp walk.
It's not Jonathan. It's Goblethan.
Yeah, can't separate him that much. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
No, I imagine you are with the butterfly wings and you float everywhere. You don't have a pimp walk. He was
fly
a
around.
fatty. That TikTok sound. He was a fatty.
I've completed the weekend's process and become just like a insect.
A thing.
Yes.
Oh, what?
He's Babel. He's in Babel stage.
Yes. God damn it.
All right. This is fun because this is a question I feel like we haven't been asked in a long time. This is something I feel like we used to answer so often years ago, and then just suddenly has been popping up. Christine asked, what are your fave houses ever and fave scare zone ever? Does anyone want to kick us off? Fave house, fave scare zone.
Well, I'm boring. Graveyard games, and I'll never shut up about it. And my favorite scare zone is Vanity Ball, and I'll never shut up about it. Also, Christina, love your hair in your profile picture. Twins.
It's the power of 29. Just favorite house, favorite scare zone.
And you would think it was my first year. It was not. It was just a really solid year, and those two, I need to see Vanity Ball become a house. That is what. I don't know if that relates to a question from before, but that's what I need to see.
That'd be cool.
An Art Deco.
Yeah, I would love that. I think the aesthetics could be amazing in that house.
Oh yeah.
What if that's what Murdy is researching 80s synth for?
No, thank you. No, thank you.
So imagine if
If
Murdy
you
doing
really
it.
hate him, I'll pulling up in Ireland.
Oh god.
So my favorite house of all time is Dead Exposure from 2008. My favorite scare zone is contested, but I'll say shit. Which one do I go with? I'll say 7 from HHN 21.
Okay, good choices. Good choices. For my favorite house, it's gonna be the Weekend After Hours Nightmare in Orlando, and my favorite scare zone is gonna be Rob Zombie in HHN 29. It's one that I think if I went multiple times to the event, like was living in Orlando at the time, I don't think would be number one, but because I only saw it twice and I saw it at peak, it just like it peak, just the power of it and everything. It wasn't super crowded or anything. I loved it. So yeah, those are my two answers. Both music related. That's crazy.
Is it crazy for you? Is it?
No,
really?
it's not. It's not.
Would Mortal Kombat work as a haunted house for HHN with the story following the premise of the original arcade game? I would say, yeah, it could work. I could see there being difficulties in how you pull it off, but I think as long as they really focus on getting the finishing moves off as like big scenes correctly, it'd work. It'd be gory. It'd be fun.
I agree. I'm not too I don't really know the original story in the arcade game, but I know that Dead Meat covered Mortal Kombat and considered it. Yeah, that counts. So if they consider it counts, then it counts.
Yeah. I watched videos of it. It looks great.
Albert asks.
I've been waiting for this one.
If it was ever announced that Murdy would begin designing houses for Orlando, would you stop going to HHN? And I think that's where I point out we still go to Hollywood every year.
Yeah.
So no.
We pay. We take time off of work.
Our
to
Murdy
go see
jokes
Hollywood.
would be more consistent.
I
They
was going
would.
to say, no,
I'll tell you that.
I'm going to go more because the content we're going to get out of that would be immeasurable. You just have to put a microphone on me and just follow. Like, that's all we would have to do. And then if he was there, I'm running up with a microphone. Murdy, can I sing you a song really fast?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Jonathan, you didn't answer, but I know your answer for sure.
Of course. I'm gonna go to HHN. Will it be as good? No. But I'd still go.
It's still HHN.
Yeah.
Still HHM, no matter what.
Spooky Bits asks, what are your top houses to visit on your Wayback Machine? Personally, I'd use my Wayback Machine to visit something I didn't see. I would say my first instinct would be, say, SS Titanic. And then I was reminded of a house that I didn't experience recently listening to the RIP Tour podcast. Ash discussed this a bit. I just hadn't thought about it in a while. And that's Castle Vampire.
That's my answer.
Is it really? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I should just left
No,
it
it's
then.
okay. It's okay.
Not only cool concept, but 2-story house. Come on.
Yep.
Come on. Like
So
we're never going to see that now.
no. Yeah, that was my answer, but that's okay because that's also always one of my answers for my entire podcast career. I'll use the other one, Gothic
Great
or
choice.
Scary Tales, original Scary
Mm.
Tales. I want to see the one from Art of the Scare. That was formative for me as a child. Just a walk through that I think would cure a lot of my mental health.
Jonathan?
I think I would pick the Marvel house in Islands.
Carnage.
Yeah, Carnage. Because I don't think it would be a good house,
No.
but I think I would laugh a lot and just be like, "How did this happen?" the whole time. And I would enjoy it in that way. So I think I picked that one because something like that in any capacity will never happen again, and it's so weird and out there. I just want to see it with my own eyes.
Well, the loophole is we're going to the same event here, Jonathan. So we get one more go as long as we agree.
Yeah, I agree.
That's
Let's
true.
do it.
Jonathan, I think you're screwed now. I think Goblethan shirts are necessary.
What?
Because it was a super chat. Our first one ever, I'd like to point out. So you've already been tipped
Let's
for a
go.
Goblethan shirt being available. Thank you so much, Salacious.
Thank you.
Salacious.
Really appreciate that.
I love that.
What do you think, Goblethan?
If we got to do it, here's the thing. I'm not against it. We'd have to do it right, though.
Yeah.
What if we take all the Goblethans and make it like an Eras Tour shirt?
or like the artist shirt, kind of like how the Pumpkin Lord was, but like multiple superimposed images of Goblethan far away, bigger and stuff like that.
I'm not against that. We will have to get into further discussion later. But honestly, I'm not. Now that it's been in the server and just going around, as long as it's animated, not totally against it.
It wouldn't be a realistic.
No, not a picture of my face. Just
I know how we all feel about our faces on things. No.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that would be, and we could even make it something that you're either in the Discord or on the live, and that's the only way you get it.
It's true. Because no one else would understand. They'd be like, "What
Correct.
is this? What? Why is there a goblin?" What? So yeah, I wouldn't be against it.
I don't know if you see me scrolling through the comments, but credit card info in the comments. Beautiful.
With
Everyone else look away.
Oh
my, yes. Yes. Yeah, but thank you for the super chat, Salacious. You may have also just tipped Jonathan over the edge.
You might have. Yes,
we'll see.
Literally
We'll see.
with the tip. You tipped me over the edge. Look at that.
The things he'll do for $2. You wouldn't believe it.
Wow.
Now $5. That's a Buzz Cola.
Let's see. All right, moving on from that. Cool dude. How do we feel about the returning house in Soundstage 24? Are we getting the return of Triplets of Terror? So we discussed this earlier, and none of us believe that we're getting a returning house.
Mm-mm.
No.
So,
probably not triplets either. If we were getting a returning.
No, that space we think is going to be used for queue or break or something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, heading back to Albert. Would you be open to a low boo house? No.
No, I'd be open to a Wicked Growth 2 house.
Yes.
What if they make Little Boo a major character in Wicked Growth 2? What if they find a way to make him part of the story and shove him in? Would we?
Shit, he's right there.
Oh, he's staring at us.
Let me just hide that.
I would need a break from him first.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because I feel if they have Wicked Growth, they have to it's gonna be more than just look. It's Little Boo. They've had him so much at this point. They'd find a way to make him prominent. Maybe Little Boo grows into the new Pumpkin Lord or something. I don't know.
I was gonna say something either in Texas or why are we not just using it for the kids every year, a pumpkin stroll or whatever?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
He's super marketable. You could use him at every Universal property, Texas, California, all of it.
Yep.
He's for the kids. He's your daytime. I don't know, boo.
Daytime boo.
I hate to tell you, Jonathan, I'm looking for more questions. However, I just get more Goblethan shirt comments. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, wow. It's crazy.
I mean, come on. Need a 5+ year break from Lil Boo? Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead, Jonathan.
No, I have nothing else. I'm considering Gobleton. But
Okay.
yes, 5+ year break from Little Boo. Yes, agree.
Lil Boo turns heel. As far as I'm concerned, he already has. Little fuckers pissed me off.
You don't have to listen to them. Put your Shrek glasses on and everything will be all right. This is normally how he sits in my house. My dollar Shrek glasses.
Speaking of your last podcast, I missed the scavenger hunt that they had different Lil Boos last year.
That's so fun.
I didn't do it either. I mean, I saw, obviously, what the scavenger hunt was, but I didn't participate at any point.
Yeah.
I missed the one from 2020 in Light where they didn't make you pay for anything. You got you got a map, and they had you go to all the stores and get stamps, which helps them because you're going to the stores. So every time you go in a store, you're more likely to buy things. Right. And then you went to the little candy shop. They gave you like 6 pieces of candy corn or something. And they were like, good job, you did it. And you got like a free reward. Like I feel like that would make that would make the more money because more people would be inclined to do it. And then more people would be going into stores to buy it compared to you want to do a scavenger hunt. It costs like $15 and you'll get an ornament at the end, even, because you paid $15. Like the free thing is something I would do all the time, so, and, walk in the stores and probably be like, I'm going to get that piece of merch because I saw it 3 times in the same day now,
And in the grand scheme of things, it's not expensive for Universal to put together.
No, not at all.
So, come on, do it for the people.
Agree.
We get Chucky and Lil Boo merch every year now. Ain't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that the truth? Ooh, this is fun. Keith asks, out of the last 5 years, 2019 to 2024, do you think we have any all-timer houses and all-timer zones? I absolutely do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How many more times can we say one house this episode?
Jess, you can say the one we'll definitely share.
Graveyard Games.
Graveyard Games from 29. Jonathan, anything on the 29 side for you as an all-timer?
29? I'm trying to think. Graveyard Games is absolutely up there. No, not that. I'm going through all the houses.
House of 1,000 Corpses.
Yeah, for an IP. For an IP, it's an all-timer IP.
Not compared to originals. We cannot compare them. But for an IP.
I mean, it was a banger house.
It's in my S tier. So for IPs, all-timer IP.
Also 29. I really have to define what an all-timer means to me. Like top what? All time. Because that list should technically grow a bit every year, probably, right? I can't just confine it to top 10, top 15, or whatever forever. Universal Monsters from 29 could also sneak in there potentially, depending on what I consider all-timer. Especially 100%. Not just its quality, but the way it broke into the event.
Yep.
Just announced itself. Amazing. Yep. HHN 30. I have another one. Wicked Growth. All-timer.
I see. I like Texas more, but Wicked Growth is the all-timer from that year. Like it just is.
I liked other houses more as well, but I will not argue Wicked Growth is the all-timer from that year.
Mm-hmm.
HHN 31, I think is going to be the first one here where I say we do not, for me, have an all-timer. I think Legends Collide came close. It probably is close to that spectrum, but it's not there.
Yeah. Like letting bias aside, like as much as I love and it's my favorite house, I wouldn't like call it in the grand scheme of things an all-timer. But I think there was an all-timer zone or zones that year.
I forgot about zones. Go ahead. Yes.
Graveyard.
Yes.
That's definitely in there, I think, for all-timer.
Absolutely.
Fully agreed. Going back then, I would also say Vanity Ball is an all-timer zone. 30 did not have an all-timer zone.
Nope.
Definitely not.
It barely had zones.
Anyone else for 31 houses that they'd want to toss up?
My brain fog is so bad right now. I can't remember anything.
I could see an argument for Dead Man's Pier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
think there definitely is. Just
Yeah.
my scale, no.
agree.
I
Very
don't think
good
it was
house. But
consistent enough the whole season to be an
Mhm.
all-timer.
mhm.
Yeah, I agree.
In my world, I feel like they need to be consistent for the run.
That makes sense.
Yeah. I think there was also just a lack of scare design
Yeah.
Mhm.
that brings it down from an all-timer to me should have everything. And this was very much missing a specific factor of an HHN house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I think it would be on a lot of people's all-timer list for sure.
Mhm.
32. I have another all-timer.
It's
Darkest
the same.
Steel.
Yeah. Come on.
Easy.
Yeah.
You know, I it's not my favorite, but I would agree in this scenario as well. Just the
Would
most.
you
yeah.
would you toss your favorite house from that year, which I believe is right next door, right?
I think so. I think Oddfellows has absolutely a chance. Just in terms of
Yeah.
it's probably like Duff. I think you said it's probably the best icon house, like single icon house you've seen. So
Mhm.
I think like in that category too, like I think there's definitely a chance to be an all-timer there.
I'd like to point out there's not been too many great single icon houses, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Before my time, like the early 2000s, there were some supposedly that were, but otherwise, yeah, the competition's not too strong, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I'd say Oddfellow.
And then Jess, 32. Anything else?
Darkest Steel.
Just Darkest Steel?
I
Zones?
can't. What zones did we have?
I don't think there's anything.
No. It
Oh,
was,
that was like Zodiac
Yeah.
and no.
No.
And that's not like love you mean it. Moving on.
33 houses? No.
no.
Zones? I feel like Torture Fair could put up a fight, but still no.
Probably not. No.
I think it's only putting up a fight because the last couple of years have not been strong.
Yeah, and I think it was surrounded also by zones that were pretty bad, like bad,
And it makes it look a lot better.
Yeah, and I think having some time away from the event and thinking about it, I don't think Torture Fair was as good as I thought it was during the season, during podcast. I think it's still good, but I think I was overhyping it when in reality it was good.
It stood out more. Like I'm having similar thoughts, but not, I guess, probably not as extreme as you. It stood out more because it was so bad everywhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
And in hindsight, like I'm not holding it as like highly as I have other zones.
Agreed.
Same. So yeah, I guess that's our all-timers in that 5-year span.
Look at that.
365 better hurry up with the Galaxy shirt before HHN rips it off. I mean, you never know. They could. I would like to say we dropped a Pumpkin Lord shirt, and guess what happened right after?
Yep.
Not that's their property, so not actually saying they ripped us off, but
our shirt was better.
Oh, absolutely.
It's still on HHN365.com, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where you can also get a Goblin shirt soon.
Yeah.
Oh, this is fun. If you could cross any 2 original houses to make a mashup sequel, which would you choose?
Oh.
Fun, but tough. You actually have to think about this one.
This is hard.
It's real hard. This is kind of cheating because it's not an original. I would take fully original Museum Deadly Exhibits because it's a concept I love, and take like Legends Collide-esque attacks and scares and approach to the museum coming alive. Obviously, the story's not going to fully mesh, but just kind of what the houses are, their ethos. Smash them together, and I think Museum could have been amazing.
I can see that.
Okay. I have one, actually.
Oh, go for it.
Okay. This might be a cop-out, but I would love to see the caretaker and his family take over Shady Brook.
Ooh.
and do his experiments on the people there and kind of see them fight back with the family as well. I think that could be interesting.
That'd be very fun. I'm trying to combine two, almost like combine two. What if you mix like Blood and Guts with Run, and like Blood and Guts was hosting it, and you were running through a studio that was hosting like different, they had just productions of different TV shows or movies or whatever, but like all the people in those movies were like were killers, just dressed up like that and like playing the part, and they had to run through. I think that'd be fun, and he runs the whole thing.
What if they were okay? This is a whole different idea on that. What if it was different reality show types that you were running through? So a dating game, like a cooking show, but it's like Blood and Guts, like comedy take on that, and that's the Run aspect. And they're still attacking you, because I feel like that would be more topical for now.
I would be amazing
into this Blood and Guts Run thing. I think that's a great pull, Jonathan.
Yeah,
great pull. Moving on, would Mars Attack work as an HHN house? The focus on the 1950 film, not the Tim Burton movie. Yeah, I think it would.
Yeah.
I think campy sci-fi has worked. I think there's a lot of people begging for an invasion house.
Yes.
And kind of along those lines already. So why not?
Much it, yeah.
This next one is very difficult, and I don't know if I have an answer. Best worst 5-year chunk from the event. I don't know. There's been a period where there hasn't been a year or two in the 5 years where it's really tough to say, yeah, that's the 5-year period that's the worst. Because 21 was surrounded by a couple duds, but that pulls it out. Then if you go in the other direction, you get to strong years too.
I haven't been going long enough, I think, to have an opinion.
Yeah,
same. Agreed.
This is my 8th year, I think, going, or 9th year, whatever. That would be cutting out only half of the event, and I don't think that's fair for me. And I can't comment on something I didn't go to. So,
if I had to pick one, I'd probably say 22 through 26. If I had to.
Look, I started going right after that. I made a great choice.
There you go. I don't know if that's. It still feels wrong to say it, but that's what. Because there's good years in there for sure, but
that's you singling out the Walking Dead years, actually.
Yeah, kind of. But the thing is, if you go the other directions, you got like 21, 17, 16. The other direction, you have 19, 31, for a lot of people 30. So I guess that's what I'll say. 22, 26.
Sounds good.
Which house first, Lil Boo or Earl the Zombie Squirrel?
Earl the Zombie Squirrel.
Yeah, I'm Team Earl.
Always Earl. Come on.
Team Earl.
Easy.
Easy.
That little fucker.
Yeah.
All right, we are getting a little low on time, so I'm going to start getting through these real quick. Don't Jump Me. I liked Seek and Destroy. I also liked it.
It was good.
Just not an all-timer.
It was sci-fi.
We hear this a lot. I've become addicted to Ghost, so it's really grown as a part of my house wish list. I've not become addicted to it, but I think I've talked about it on the podcast a lot, actually, how I really didn't understand what Ghost was. I thought it was like death metal or something.
Yeah, no.
And it's really just like modern hair metal and glam rock. And I kind of fuck with it. Thank you, Nightmare Fuel pre-show, for teaching me what Ghost was.
That's crazy that you had not heard before.
None. And
That's
obviously
insane.
I've listened to a lot of it now. No, never heard it.
Well, they're getting a new Papa. So
A new Papa.
Do you not know that lore?
I mean, you've talked about it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So every again, I could be wrong. Every new album or every new cycle of whatever, they kill off Papa and there's a new one. It's the same guy, but it's a different form and like different everything. It's really cool. The whole concept of it is very interesting. So, but again, it's very, very religious.
Yeah, that's gonna lessen its chance, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see it though.
My top pick for a crossover would be Leave It to Cleaver and Major Sweets. I mean, automatically meshes kind of with the era, the aesthetic. Yeah, you aren't really clashing much at all. They could just naturally glide in together.
I would like to see versus. I want to see Blood and Guts versus Sweets, like fight it out.
Mm-hmm.
Be great.
That's the wrestling house, actually. Just
There you
two
go.
big guys.
Do you guys wait till October to make your annual trek to Hollywood? Actually, last year was the first time I ever waited till October to do that. I think I've always gone in September. Every other year I've gone. So I don't know what this year is going to look like time-wise, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll be there regardless. Let's see. Oh, this is kind of fun. Blood Moon and Yeti Campground kills.
Ooh.
Cult is praising feeding the Yeti guests.
I like that.
That's fun. That's fun.
That'd be really fun.
Baby Yeti revenge.
All right, so we do have a few more questions, but I'm going to cut it there unless someone comes in with something that really catches my eyes. We're approaching the 2-hour mark here. But, Keith, do you think there will ever be a style of house like Case Files?
Sure, probably.
I hope so.
I could see it. I mean, it's very unique as it stands, right? There's really nothing else to compare it to. But I don't see why they won't look back at that and go, yeah, let's do that again.
Yeah, just focus on one story, but keep it in that same style. I think they could do it really well.
Definitely.
Oh, there was one I passed that I wanted to click. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, here we go. Because it's tying into something we've always wanted. Feudal Japan Nightingales versus Body Collectors.
Oh, I want to see that versus so bad.
Yeah. Cool.
I mean,
going to get the Body Collectors back? That's the real question for HHN. It's been forever.
It really has. It really has.
Do you think they're going to bring them back?
I don't know.
Or like, I know that they're very similar to some characters in Buffy, and maybe at this point, like they'd either have to redesign them to bring them back, or I don't know. Or do you
they
think
were back in 25.
That's true.
It's not that long ago.
I don't think it would be an issue, to be honest. I think they're a generic enough looking character that
it's fine.
Change the sculpt like a little bit here and there, and they will.
I could see that. Yeah. Change them a little bit.
It's the 20-year anniversary of Body Collectors this year.
Oh.
Says a comment.
Oh. Hello.
05?
Well, in that case.
Bring them back. It's time.
Boom. Let's do it. All right. So we're going to do this as the last question as we wrap up. And what a great question to end on. So positive. Worst HHN year so far. That's actually not tough for me. I know my answer. And that is going to be HHN 23. There was a couple really good houses, Cabin in the Woods, American Werewolf in London. However, it is a year where the originals were pretty weak. I know a lot of people liked Orlando's La Llorona. I thought it was just okay. The Walking Dead, like, scare zones, no, it was bad. It was a bad year.
Yeah. I mean, the easy answer would be 2020 for me. No HHN that year. No, but no.
It doesn't count.
It doesn't count. I'm going between 30 and 33. I think I'm still going to do 30 just because while it was HHN, super exciting, happy to be there, it still didn't feel like HHN yet. And I think that's the reason I'm going to pick that year over 33. That was, a full year, just had some duds.
Again, my choices suck for this. I'm being kind of spoiled. I
think there's a couple options.
Well, yeah, because I was gonna say like 27 had a lot of like the Scarecrow all timer. Name another one.
I mean, that's an all timer. None.
Right. So like
Hive. The Fallen.
My first HHN house ever. Hive.
I think the Hive was fine. The Fallen was cheeks.
Correct. You could find something fun in Hive, and it was scary. I want to say 27, but also it being my first year, it's like a little special.
That changes things.
But also on the other side, 33 was very sour. I've been very honest about that for me.
Yep.
I didn't get to see any of my friends. I barely got time at the event. But that also feels like a cop-out because
it's HHN's fault, though.
It is kind of
great. Let's be honest, comparatively.
The lineup, and that was part of it. I did not see a need to come and like redo these houses last year. Like, and yeah, you know, I can blame it on HHN. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not getting back into that. So yeah, I want to say 33 because 27 was still my first year. And we had like one of my favorite houses of all time, like Scarecrow. I don't have a favorite house of all time from last year.
No.
Not even doing the Duff 1 year rule thing. I can't even do it. There's not going to be one from last year. I agree.
Yeah,
hey, but some people get a little annoyed that I shit on 33 because I didn't get a fish with my friends. So I was just acknowledging that.
All right. So last question. We'll go into some of the comments relating to that question. 2017 in Hollywood is pretty infamous.
Yeah.
That I've heard. Luckily, I didn't start till 2018. So also not an amazing year, I guess. But
had the monsters.
So there you go. Yeah, Monsters was a lot of fun. I enjoyed that a lot. Keith is with me. 23 is my least favorite year. Thanks, Keith. Was not great. Also adding 33 was a rough year, but I'll be real. Rush of Fear, and even without life changes, 33 was kind of mad at best.
Yeah.
And then going back just a bit, because I do want to bring this up, is In Arcade an all-time zone? I think it is a zone that contains all-time aesthetics,
all-time vibes.
Yeah.
Yep.
As a zone, not an all-timer.
But as an entrance zone.
As a fucking vibe at HHN, all-time vibe. All-time vibe.
If the gates and the marquee thing look like that every year, I don't think anyone would ever complain.
Mm-hmm.
No.
So.
Yeah. It was the perfect way to enter the park.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
All-time concept, not all-time zone.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yep. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week's live stream. That was great. I was really worried. We didn't have much to talk about, but here we are 2 hours later. We had a great time chatting with you. I'm sure we won't have much more to talk about some coming weeks at some point either. So we'll be back asking you guys for questions and topics again. So appreciate all the engagement, all the interactivity. That was a lot of fun. Goblethin shirts coming to the store, official hhn365.com.
Eventually, sure. Yeah,
that's
do it.
That's our 2025 drop. It's just Goblethin.
Just that's it. Just Goblethin.
That's it. If you haven't noticed that ticker below us there, our social media, HHN365. Of course, here on YouTube, we are dropping our YouTube live every single Tuesday. Our podcast will be dropping every single Monday. That's anywhere you listen to podcasts. And then TikTok, HHN365 pod. We're really starting to get back on track here, I think. So we got stuff everywhere. And then, as Mary says, go to the hotline. Go to the YouTube channel, the Hotline. They are starting their YouTube live in 2 minutes. So I'll be heading over there as well. Thanks so much for joining us. I hope to see you over with the Hotline. Great fucking live streamer, by the way. Great live streamer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think that's it for this week. Any last words, guys?
Goblethin merch.
Woo. Can't wait to see what you guys get to surprise me with in 2 weeks because I'll be on a boat next week.
Hopefully, Goblethin merch.
Yes, I want to be surprised with the